What's up, guys? I'm Cody Brockway, and you are back here for another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. That's right. And so, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know that I'm a drummer. You know I love to play drums. I've been playing drums for pretty much my whole life. And actually, on the channel, I have a whole playlist of all my drum covers that I've uploaded here. So I will attach that to come up at the end of the video. It'll come up on the screen for you. You can click and have a look. But anyway, it got me, I'm thinking about drummers a lot, right? I'm listening to music that's heavy drumming and great stuff, and I thought an idea for a video, what would be a great idea for the top 10 best drum intros of all time, according to me? So basically, I've pulled out songs here that are some of my favorite tunes that just have killer drum intros. Typically, what I went for with this list is only drums, like a drum fill deleted in the song or a drum groove to start off the tune. There is one song that is a bit of a band arrangement, but the drums are so heavy in it, you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to that song and why I chose it. But I'm going to start off, I got 10 here, and I have an honorable mention. We'll get to the honorable mention later. And there's a lot of stuff here that maybe you wouldn't expect, even from expected musicians. I'm going to start off with number 10. Going back to 1982, from Phil Collins' second solo album, of course, him being a drummer, right? There's a couple of great drum intros and things in his catalog, and he's actually on two of these songs that I'm about to mention in this list. And this one is I Cannot Believe It's True. Just a really awesome fill leading into that groovy tune. Absolutely fantastic drummer, and it really sets up the song in a really cool, groovy way. Love it. Phil Collins, I Cannot Believe It's True, from the Hello, I Must Be Going record. And Phil Collins' second appearance here, but not on a Phil Collins record. Of course, in 1980, he would work with Hugh Padgham and Peter Gabriel on Peter Gabriel's third record. And Phil played pretty much, drums on the whole album. And they had a song called Intruder. That's right, from Peter Gabriel 3. Do do da do do da do do da do do da. Absolutely killer, and that is where they got the gated drum sound that would then become a very massive thing on the Face Value record and so on and so forth with In the Air Tonight and that. Maybe I should do a video on best drum fills, because that'll certainly be number one on that. But yeah, Intruder, just the way that Phil Collins' drum sets up, when you put the needle on the record and that's the first thing you hear is Phil Collins just being super caveman-y with that, and it just sets up the tone for the whole album. Absolutely fantastic. Peter Gabriel. Love my Genesis guys. And that's it for the Genesis guys as we progress on through the list. The next up, number 8. Of course, it's not a ranking like I always say. It's just so many great drum intros that you should be aware of. If you are not, this is Danny Carey and Tool from the Lateralis record and Ticks and Leeches. Starting us off with an odd time signature. 7 right off the hop, just to punch you in the face, and then it's one of Tool's heaviest tunes. But Danny Carey just absolutely being a master in that drum intro. Then he comes in with the double kicks and everything, and it's absolutely an assault on the ears, and it's heavenly at the same time. It's an assault in the absolute best way possible. I love it. It's very cool. Can't complain about anything Danny Carey's ever played, because he's a perfect drummer. He really is. Love it. Love him. And, of course, we got Judas Priest. Yes. From the Painkiller record. I think you know where I'm going with this. Scott Travis, fantastic drummer. Saw him play it live. The title track. Number 7, Judas Priest, Painkiller from Painkiller. I think if you're watching this video, you probably know what it sounds like. But just an absolutely killer drum intro that, drummers are still trying to learn to this day. I'm one of them. Absolutely have a great time playing the song. It's just a belter of a tune, but the way the drums just immediately, as soon as that drum intro comes on, you are just thrusted into it, and it makes for the best wake-up alarm tone on your phone. Painkiller, Judas Priest. And then we're going to go a little bit, of course, into the progosphere once again with this next track. Bill Bruford, one of my favorite drummers of all time. And I've always likened this drum fill that he does at the beginning of this song as to sort of like if he was playing while falling down the stairs, but never falls out of time and comes back in perfectly on the one. Of course, we're talking about South Side of the Sky from the Fragile album. Yes, this is the Steven Wilson remix, so if you're wondering why the cover looks weird as opposed to the regular blue cover, that's why this is a different looking one. And it's on green vinyl, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the song we're choosing here... Look, green vinyl. Yeah, the song we're choosing here is Bill Bruford and South Side of the Sky. My little cheap imitations do absolutely nothing for it. But if you've never heard it, go check it out. It's really cool. And maybe I'll play it for you sometime. Who knows? But yeah, doing a drum cover, that would be awesome. Yes, South Side of the Sky. Bill Bruford, just awesome. After that little thunderstorm thing that happens, then his drum fill comes in. Then the band, the rivers. Awesome. Great fill to lead off the track. And of course, I could not do a list without including the great Cozy Powell. From the Rainbow Rising record, obviously Stargazer. Just one of the ultimate all-time iconic drum intros. And just a totally epic track. But his drumming to start off that song is just totally thunderous. And the production and the way the drums sound in the mix. And the really awesome fills and stuff he's playing just to open up the track is just killer. Stargazer from Rainbow Rising. And you guys know, if you're following Brockway's Vinyl Bites, we got to have my man Mike Portnoy in here. One of the first Dream Theater songs I ever learned how to play actually was Honor Thy Father. And I've done a number of Dream Theater covers on Brockway's Vinyl Bites here. I haven't done one of that yet, so I'm thinking I should. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. I'll still do it anyway. But from the Train of Thought record, yeah, Honor Thy Father. Just a wow, what a fantastic fill. It's such a great fill that he reworked it when he was working with Avenged Sevenfold for Welcome to the Family on the Nightmare record. But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about Honor Thy Father. And he actually just was on Drumeo with his son, Max Portnoy. And Max Portnoy was playing Honor Thy Father. And really cool, of course, for the Father's Day weekend, which, by the way, happy Father's Day to you guys out there. If you're watching this and you're a dad, if you're a mother who's a dad as well, happy Father's Day to you. But yeah, just the awesome drum fill starting this off. When I first heard that, I just went, wow, just killer. But yeah, Dream Theater, Mike Portnoy, Honor Thy Father. Awesome drum fill to start off the song. Just kind of takes you to school in 5 seconds, and it's like, what was that? And then, of course, you listen back to it, and you throw in the headphones, and as a drummer, I sit behind the kit working it out, and I've got it now. Pretty cool. Honor Thy Father. And the next one is from a guy who went uncredited on this record upon its release, but has been credited on the re-releases in the years since. Lee Kerslake from Uriah Heap, but not in Uriah Heap. Of course, he was in Ozzy Osbourne's band. And on the Diary of a Madman record, what is it with some of these songs opening up the albums with just these killer drum fills? Absolutely fantastic drum intro. Wow. Killer. Over the Mountain. I'm over the mountain when I hear that, and I think that's how he knew the assignment and throwing in that really great drum fill to start off the song. Lee Kerslake, what a guy. R.I.P. to him. Just one of the absolute fantastic drummers ever, and obviously love his work in Uriah Heap as well. But his work on the Ozzy Osbourne albums cannot be understated. It is fantastic. Over the Mountain. At number 3. At number 2, remember at the beginning of this video I told you that all the songs that I was talking about would just be a drum groove or a fill opening up the song, and that there was one that was kind of a band arrangement. But when we get to it, you'd see why I had to choose this. Well, we're here. And of course, Rush. Neil Peart, obviously. Of course, the song does start out with the guitar, but the drums and bass kind of take over and lead the song into a totally different direction. It is the spirit of radio. The drums just punch you right in the face when they come in, following along with the bass there, and just Rush just being the absolute gods that they are on this track. And it's a hit. That's awesome. Spirit of Radio, just wow, just really, really intelligently well done, and totally well executed, and just a great track. But yeah, Neil Peart just coming in and killing it with the little fills and things that he's doing at the beginning of this, and of course that breakdown that leads into the main riff. You can't really beat that, can you? Spirit of Radio from the Permanent Waves record, Rush. And before we get to number one, I want to let you guys know the honorable mention is Hot for Teacher from Van Halen, although it is not the number one choice. But of course that is still a drum intro that many years later drummers are still trying to learn to this day, and many not learning it well. But only Alex Van Halen, and obviously there are lots of drummers who have absolutely aced that intro and can play it perfectly, in all respect to them. Alex Van Halen is a king. But Hot for Teacher, and you know what, so that was the honorable mention. You know what the number one has to be above all that? I think you'll understand when you see it. Pictures of Home, Ian Pace from Deep Purple. Wow! Wow! If you haven't heard this, you have to go listen to it. I mean, I think if you're following Brockway's Vinyl Bites, you probably have heard this whole record, Machine Head. But that drum fill that he does at the beginning of that, I can't even believe that he played that. And then just came in perfectly with the band on the one. It is a perfect drum intro, perfect song on a perfect album. Pictures of Home, Ian Pace just being a badass guy. Love it. So, looking back, we had Phil Collins, I Cannot Believe It's True. We had Peter Gabriel, Intruder, with Phil Collins on drums. Tool, with Danny Carey on drums. Ticks and Leeches. Judas Priest, Painkiller, with Scott Travis on drums. Yes, from the Fragile record, that was South Side of the Sky, with Bill Bruford on drums. Rainbow, from the Rising record, Cozy Powell on drums. Stargazer. Dream Theater, of course, with Mike Portnoy on drums, and that was from the Train of Thought record, Honor Thy Father. Ozzy Osbourne with Lee Kerslake on drums from Diary of a Madman, Over the Mountain. Over the Mountain when we hear that for sure. Rush from Permanent Waves, Neil Peart, obviously, Spirit of Radio, and number one, Deep Purple. Pictures of Home, Ian Pace. What are some of your favorite drum intros? And would you like to see me play some of these songs? Because I can do it for you. I really can. So tell me what you think in the comments. Be respectful, of course. If there's anything that you would have added onto this list, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let's chat in the comments. Let's have a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You have been watching Brockway's Vinyl Bites, and we'll see you next time right here. You know where to be. This is the only place to be. Rock on!